What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news, what's going on with the next stimulus package, which is $3.5 trillion, which has passed the initial voting process in the Senate. The motion to proceed has now moved on to the House of Representatives. Which Nancy Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer is calling back the House of Representatives from their state work period, where they go back to their states to work, also known as their recess. They will be coming back. We'll be talking about in this video the voting process and the vote that will be coming next, as well as we discuss on this channel what's going on in the country, what's going on in Washington, D.C., everything you need to know about. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks so much for giving these videos a like. We got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. Okay, the full FDA approval for the Pfizer vaccine could come next week, according to new reports. Check this out. The FDA long-awaited full approval. Remember, the vaccines are currently under emergency use FDA approval. The long-awaited full approval for the Pfizer vaccine could come as early as next week, according to the New York Times and Politico, reporting last night, potentially expediting more decisions about mandates. Yeah, the federal agency is reportedly aiming to grant full license to Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech, possibly as early as Monday, the New York Times reported, citing people familiar with the agency's planning. The Times reported that the FDA regulators were trying to get the approval by Friday, but more paperwork and negotiations needed to be completed. That kind of actually sounds a little worrisome to me. Again, I have no skin in the game, and I, don't push an agenda either way. Why are there negotiations in this? Who's negotiating? What are the negotiations about? Why are they negotiating? That's kind of weird to me. Negotiations, like, are the pharmaceutical companies negotiating for FDA approval? Or is this just a badly worded article? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to go with the second. Maybe it's just a badly worded article. We've seen this in the past. Remember that Tennessee unemployment lawsuit said that they won it, and it was really just a really badly worded article. I don't know. I would hope that there's not negotiations going on between Pfizer and the FDA for full approval. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sources warned that the authorization could be delayed past Monday. Of course, we always know anything could always be delayed. The new timeline represents an acceleration from the plan to reach full approval for the Pfizer vaccine by Labor Day, as reported by the New York Times earlier this month. Politico first reported that the three people with knowledge of this matter said the agency is on course to give full authorization for the Pfizer shot as soon as next week. The FDA declined to comment, and the Hill reached out to the White House. All three vaccines, along with Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, are authorized under emergency use authorization, meaning they would only be available as long as the country had declared a public health emergency. But the vaccines are widely considered safe and effective under the FDA's current authorization. The expectations for the full authorization has ignited hope within the Biden administration and among outside experts that more people will get vaccinated, something crucial given the Delta variant's hold on the nation. More vaccine mandates are expected to follow when the full license of the FDA approval is announced. And I do think that will happen as well. Now note, it does not mention the Moderna full FDA approval, and the I do expect Moderna to happen, but apparently the Pfizer FDA approval is on a faster track, or a little bit faster track than Moderna. Johnson & Johnson full FDA approval and the Johnson & Johnson third shot, from what I understand, are both significantly farther behind for the Johnson & Johnson third shot. So remember that the Moderna and the Pfizer shot for third shots now, if you want to get a third shot, is available for pretty much everybody after you've gotten your second shot, 8 months after your second shot, starting in September. I believe it's on September 20th. And of course, I guess my famous question is, are you excited about getting a third question? I kind of asked that when the third shot announcement kind of came out. I guess it's kind of a running joke in our community now. Are you excited about getting a third shot? I guess it's just kind of a weird way I asked it, but some people are actually excited to get a third shot because, they want to get more protection. But of course, a lot of people are dreading getting a third shot, but I guess it's just kind of a funny way that I asked it. So I guess that'll be my go-to motto now when I ask about, are you excited about getting a third shot? Because it is actually an absolutely hilarious way to ask about the third shot. So are you excited about getting a third shot? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm actually making myself crack up about that, and I don't do that very often. Okay, I got some interesting news about the next stimulus package, the fourth stimulus package, and what is going on with that. Now, remember, as part of the reconciliation process, I know this might get a little bit confusing here. It's passed the motion to proceed from the Senate, okay? And the Senate has now sent the bill over to the House, okay? The Senate went on vacation, or they went on their state work period. All the senators went home because they're not working on the bill anymore. The bill has now been sent to the House, okay? So the senators all went back to their states. They're all now working in their states because they've kind of done their job for the moment, and they don't need to work on the bill anymore. They now sent their bill to the House of Representatives. And the House of Representatives are now coming back from their recess or their state work periods. Remember that recess is really just the senators or the House of Representatives, they go back to their own states to work, because remember, they can't work in the Capitol 365 days a year or for work days, Monday through Friday, because they have to work in their own states at some point, because remember, they're state representatives. So they have these state work periods where they go back to their own states to work in their states. Because remember, if you were a New York senator or a Texas senator or California senator, you can't never be in your own state with your own people working in your own state capital and stuff like that, right? It just kind of really makes sense. I always see people say they're on vacation for a month. And I'm like, that's not what they're doing. They're back in their own state, working in their own state, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're elected officials for their state. But whatever, everybody always makes a big deal about it. So again, Nancy Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer and the Republicans, they're coming back now because that's what they do. Everybody makes a big deal about it. I'm like, that's not how it works. So they're coming back now from their state work period or their recess, whatever you want to call it. They're coming back and they're going to start the voting process on both packages. We're going to see how this plays out here because, again, things are getting a little bit dicey already in the House. And this is why I never, you see me, I never make a big deal about recess or state work period, whatever you want to call it. Most people just call it recess because it's kind of the slang name it always gets told, because it's kind of like the untold truth. Everybody thinks they just jump on a plane and go sip Mai Tais in Mexico. Now, well, Ted Cruz did do that one time. But they're going back to their states. So they're all coming back from their states, and they're going to work on these next packages. And they're going to actually maybe start working on the voting process here. Check this out. Okay, Nancy Pelosi, who's the Speaker of the House, she's kind of the Senate Majority Leader, like Chuck Schumer or how Mitch McConnell used to be for the Senate. She's the House Speaker, which is the Majority Leader of the House. Nancy Pelosi seeks to advance the bipartisan infrastructure package, which is the physical infrastructure package, Part 1, and the $3.5 trillion budget package, which is the stimulus package, okay? I know that, these might get a little bit confusing here. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she is looking to advance both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the broader $3.5 trillion budget framework, also you guys know it as the stimulus package, simultaneously. An effort to keep the House Democrats united as the chamber prepares to take up both plans. Pelosi said in a letter to her Democratic colleagues that she asked the House Rules Committee to explore the possibility of a rule which governs floor debate that moves forward the budget resolution and the infrastructure bill. Both measures passed the Senate last week. Now, remember, the stimulus package passed last week, but only the motion to proceed, because remember, there's not a bill written yet. Okay, they probably have a lot of this written in the background, but we don't have an actual bill. So, just want to kind of note that for you guys. This will put us on a path to advance the infrastructure bill and the reconciliation bill, the California Democrat said, Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi said her plan is for the House to pass the $3.5 trillion budget resolution the week of August 23rd, which is this upcoming week. Wow. Nancy Pelosi said her plan is for the House to pass the $3.5 trillion budget resolution the week of August 23rd. Wow. Now, I think that I don't know if it's all we're going to have to see how fast this happens, because remember, they have to produce a bill, they have to go through the negotiations, but I think that they might start voting on this possibly even as early as Monday, because I've kind of seen some rumors floating around here that they could start the voting process possibly as early as Monday, but you can definitely see here that they plan to start the voting process this week. You can see here her plan is for the House to pass the budget resolution this week. Now, remember that this is going to go in voting stages, okay? It's not just one big vote, but they're going to start it this week. They're going to start the voting process this week, which would then pave the way for the Democratic-controlled House to approve its sweeping reconciliation bill encompassing President Biden's priorities for health care, childcare, and education as soon as possible. So that's actually really big news that they plan to start passing it this week. Yeah, it's really, really fast. And again, anybody who told you they're going on vacation for 6 weeks, well, they either just lied to you or they don't really know what they're talking about. That's probably why you listen to my channel, not them, right? Nancy Pelosi plans to tie the bipartisan infrastructure bill with the budget resolution. Comes after a group of 9 moderate Democrats told her last week that they wouldn't vote for the budget resolution until the infrastructure plan passes the House and is signed into law. And that's where the negotiations really come into play. Remember, we have like 9 Democrats from the House, the Republican-leaning Democrats, like the Joe Manchins and the Kirsten Sinema of the House. They're the Senate people, but these are the guys like that from the House. They're like, yeah, we want to just vote on the infrastructure package and get it out of the way. And there's a lot more progressive Democrats. They're the more left-leaning Democrats. They're the more stimulus-leaning Democrats. They're the more, we want a larger than $3.5 trillion Democrats. They're like a lot more of them. Remember, there's 100 Democrats in the Progressive Caucus alone that are like, yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to pass the infrastructure package on its own and get rid of it because we're kind of using it for leverage, okay? And there's 9 Democrats that are saying, well, if you do that, we're not going to vote on the infrastructure package. So it's a little bit of a game of tug and war here, okay? Even amongst the own Democratic Party. So you can imagine how hard this would be to pass it if they had to negotiate with the Republicans, which not a single Republican is going to vote for this. Remember, not a single Republican in the Senate voted for this, and not a single Republican from the third stimulus check package voted for this. But even with all this, they're going to get the job done, okay? Remember that they went through the same exact process with the third stimulus check package, and yet they got the job done. So, yeah, I just kind of want to let you guys know, but this is kind of the process here. Remember, I always kind of have my finger on the thumb of this, or my finger on the thumb. I have my thumb on the. I have my finger on the pulse of this, and I always seem to be. I kind of feel like I have the pulse of what is going on with Congress here. So, kind of letting you guys know. That's why I can't stress enough how much I don't make a big deal about the recess, because I feel like some of these other guys that talk about this, they make such a big deal about the recess, and it is not, because they literally just call them back when they need to. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Okay, it's exactly what they're doing, and everybody was making a big deal that the Senate's going to go on recess, and lo and behold, the Senate didn't even go on recess until they passed everything they needed to. Okay, and then they went on recess, and remember, recess isn't even recess. It's just a state work period where they go back to their states and work, because remember, you have to work in your state at some point. You can't be a senator from Vermont or a senator from Texas and never work in Texas. You have to be a senator for your, or representative of your state. Now the House of Representatives coming back, and lo and behold, they literally could start the voting process this week. This week. So I actually think that's very promising news to start this. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here, because remember, they have two packages. Remember, the physical infrastructure package is fully passed in the Senate. Okay. And that really just needs to pass the House, and then it literally can go right to President Biden and be done. But remember that the progressives and Nancy Pelosi are kind of holding it hostage. They're kind of putting an insurance policy on it, because they could just pass it, like, and just get it done with. But they're kind of like using it as an insurance policy to make sure that the moderate Democrats don't pull a once over and not get the stimulus package passed. Okay. So they're kind of saying, yeah, we know that we could just pass this next stimulus package. We know that, or we could pass the infrastructure package. We know that we could just pass it and get it out of the way. But we really got to make sure that we pass this next stimulus package, because here's the thing. It's the largest stimulus package ever. It's $3.5 trillion. And it's going to have a lot of really big things in there. It's going to have an extension of the child tax credits. This is what the Democrats have said so far. Those checks end at the end of this year, okay? And those are really important for 65 million families, 65 million children. Okay, that provides $3,000 to $3,600 for children per year. We really need to extend that. And then it's also going to have an adult tax credit, a tax credit for adults. Okay, they haven't told us how much that's going to be yet, who's going to get that yet, how much it's going to be yet. But we know that how much the tax credits are for children. They're $3,000 to $3,600 per year. Not bad, right? I mean, if somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, want $3,000?" You'd be like, "Yeah, it's pretty awesome." So they're saying that there's going to be an adult tax credit in this next package. They're also saying there's going to be free college in this next package. If someone came up to you and said, "Hey, do you want to go to college for free?" You'd be like, "This is a scam, right?" But that's what they're going to do. 2 years of free community college is supposed to be in this next package. They're also going to have more Medicare benefits, possibly lower the Medicare eligibility age. Okay. There's going to be all sorts of things. Hopefully, a fourth stimulus check besides the child tax credits and maybe this adult tax credits. I personally consider child tax credits actually a stimulus check. Okay. But really, we want, I don't know, I just do, because it's a check coming from the government, and you don't have to do anything. I mean, you literally cannot have any earned income, and they're going to give you $3,000 to $3,600. Even if you don't have any earned income, they just give it to you. That's stimulus to me. And they passed it in the third stimulus check package, and they're going to pass this next extension in this fourth stimulus package. So in my opinion, if they're passing something in a stimulus package, it's a stimulus check or a stimulus provision. But we really want to see, just like in the third stimulus check package, they passed the child tax credits and they passed the $1,400 stimulus checks. That's what we really want to see. We want to see child tax credits, maybe adult tax credits, and stimulus checks, and free college, and Medicare 2.0 to include hearing, dental, vision, hearing aid coverage. denture coverage, which like 75% of seniors, Bernie Sanders says, do not have that coverage. We want to see that. That's supposed to be in this next package. They're expected to lower prescription drug prices significantly with this next package. And I mean, there's going to be a lot in this next package. So, um, yeah, I think that this upcoming week is going to be a very big week. We're probably going to be getting a lot of details on that here in the next few videos. As we're getting more information about what's going to be coming out here this week. Remember, new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, even as we're getting information here throughout this weekend. And remember, I'll bring you daily news on everything, what is going on here. Remember, new videos come out every day. So I'll keep you up to date on everything. What's going on in Washington, D.C., what's going on in the United States, what's going on with the next stimulus package. And of course, I'll have special guest appearances, from my beautiful son, Julian, and my beautiful wife from time to time, which yeah, she definitely needs to make a guest appearance here too. So I've definitely seen some of your comments. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. We're definitely going to have a big week coming out here for the next stimulus package with the voting in the House of Representatives. So yeah, you can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is how a $2,000 check could be in the next stimulus package. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.